This is not about attacking Bishop Kengei. This is about consistency, because leadership in both political and spiritual space are measured by integrity across all seasons. There is no wavering. So if today you're supporting the protest, if today you're supporting the Gen Z during the maandamanos, you must remain consistent. You must maintain that independence even during the power visits, even during when the president visits your church, your pulpit, for political anointing, and they give you big checks. You must maintain integrity. Otherwise, the Gen Zs, the nation, the people, Kenyans will feel betrayed by you. And this is what is happening to you, Bishop Kengei. Kenyans feel betrayed. Why? Politics has officially entered the church. And we know the big checks have been landing on the pulpits. Last Sunday at JCM Church, the sermon had a special guest, and that is the President of Kenya, William Samoei Ruto, also known in the political circles as Kasongo. Wait, he was hosted by the bishop of the church, whose name is Benson Kengei Kathongo. Why does the two names have something in common? Stay with me, you will understand this. So, there was a lot of pledges that went on, the big checks for political alignment, for spiritual alignment. Which is it? So the checks were for political alignment or spiritual alignment? I don't know, but let's also find out. So the thing that has brought the uproar, it's because some times back, during the Gen Z's appraising, Kathongo was against Kasongo, and he was against the regime of killing people.
Hata huyo anatupigisha marisasi, mutasikia watu wakisema arudishwe kwa kiti. Sijui kama hii tabu itakuwa ya faida kwetu. Mimi ninashindwa tukiweka Boniface hapa. Is that the end? Is that the end? What will come up after this death? Wacha tukaribie miezi miwili tu uchaguzi, mtaona vile tutapata pesa. Utakuwa unabeba paka.
And this was at the burial of the Gen Z who was shot, Benson. His name was Benson Kariuki, who was, if I'm not wrong, who was shot selling masks in town, point blank. So, Kathongo has been a real good supporter of the Gen Z movement, in quotes, because he has been clout chasing with the Gen Z movement. Like there's a time we had the Kaluma moment in JCM Church. He took the moment. But now, there's a time he swore that he will never take political money. He will never join politics. That was his own words, because he believed that politicians are the problem of the country. So what changed, Bishop Kathongo? What changed so that now you start singing Kasongo's song? I saw you praising the President of Kenya, William Samoei Ruto, saying that he's a good guy.
Na Mheshimiwa Rais, mimi nikushukuru. Mimi nimezaliwa Baringo lakini kwetu ni Nakuru. Mimi nakushukuru, hata kama hatutakula ndio nikuulize kama unanipenda. Mimi nimekuwa nyumbani juzi na nimeona vile barabara ya kutoka Rironi kwenda kwetu Nakuru iko. Mimi hata usinipe kitu kingine. Hiyo barabara ikikamilika, nitakubeba na shuka. Kwa sababu mimi ndio hulala barabara.
So what changed Bishop? What changed Bishop to a point that, or is it the big check that the president promised? Because the president promised a couple of millions to support the church development.
Kila mwaka nikianza leo nitakutumia 3 ulipie hawa vijana. Basi mimi nitakuongeza 5 ya kuendesha hii. Kabla ya Ijumaa utanitembelea, nitakuja nikuandikie check mzuri ya kuendelea na hii kazi ya hapa.
The power of money. I guess everybody has a price. But some of us, the price is integrity. Some of us, the price is the love for the country. Because I watched some clips previously that the bishop Bishop Kiengei was so much against the regime, saying that the same regime that has been killing people, and people will again vote for the same regime. The bishop seemed to be so much against the regime, but now today he sings two terms. He praises two terms in a way that most people cannot even understand it. Most people won't get this.
Mimi nimetoka nyumbani nikaona vile, hata nikasimama, mimi mwenyewe nikasimama nikaona vile hiyo barabara inatengenezwa. Kwanza pale kwetu ukienda Naivasha already hata miti zimeangushwa. Na nikaambia Mungu, sitaomba mambo mengi, lakini hii kazi ikamilike. And one day, Mheshimiwa Rais, ukiwa nyumbani after 2032 huko, kama umeketi nyumbani, utaangalia watu wakienda nyumbani bila jamu. Utaangalia Salga hakuna ajali, na utajiguza kifua useme, at my age I answered to the call.
So all this because of the big check. So I guess everybody has a prize. We remember the maandamano season. We remember the police excess. We remember the tear gas. We remember the live bullets. We remember basically everything. We remember the young hawker who was shot point blank on the head while he was selling masks. And we remember clergies calling the police excess. We remember the clergies, calling out on the rogue government, standing with the people, speaking for the people. Because when the clergies speak, we ought to listen because we give them some respect. And at that time, their moral positioning is earning our respect. We remember all this. So what changed to a point that now the regime, the government, the president has become good, that we tell them on their faces that you are a very good person. Then the other day you are telling the president that you are not a good person. What changed? So Bishop, the questions that many Kenyans want to know, including I myself, is not that they are fighting the church, or it's not that they are fighting you as a bishop. It's because the other time you are telling us that the president is the problem, the regime is the problem. And now you are inviting the problem to your church. And by the problem, I mean the president. I know the president is the president of the people, of the entire nation. And he can worship in whichever the church that he pleases. But, Bishop, why did the two-term language fail to your sermon's atmosphere? What changed, Bishop? Did the system that you're fighting got fixed? The system that we are advocating for, did it get fixed? Did the governance change overnight? What changed, Bishop? What changed? Or is it proximity to power that has made you change the narrative? Because we can see how much you're so much excited being close to the president. What changed, Bishop? These are the questions that Kenyans are asking. Or is it the anointing that has increased because the envelope that the president came with has increased? Anyway, we just want to know, we are asking the questions. You see, there's something that I want Kenyans to know, that politicians will always seek legitimacy in the pulpit. And their religious leaders, like Benson Kiengei, will always seek influence, or rather gain influence from politicians. So it's a mutual exchange of optics. And that's why, you see, the other day, Benson will be speaking for the people. And then on Sunday, he's inviting the same politicians in his pulpit, anointing them with the anointing oil. But that oil is influenced by the big checks, by the check that he has been promised to go and get on Sunday, on Monday, or whatever the day in State House.
Mnataka nifanye namna gani? Endelee namna hiyo? Endelee namna hiyo? Bas, so mimi nataka nikueleze Bishop, nitakuita this week. Hii wiki hii. Kabla ya Ijumaa utanitembelea nitakuja nikuandikie check mzuri ya kuendelea na hii kazi ya hapa.
Well, money is good, and most of the people need money, but not even the bishops. The bishop has like 64 branches of the same church, JCM church, in the UK, in the US. So that translates to he's getting a lot of offerings and tithe. So why is the money is not enough? Because it's good for him to take the money, but this money doesn't just come like that for free. There's danger that comes with it. And one of the danger is that they end up losing the moral independency. So they can never question the power because he's close to that power. He will never challenge the system. He will never speak for the people. They will never speak the truth. Because even when they're preaching their sermons on Sunday, the sermons will be dependent on who's seated on the front seat. We have seen this in many churches. Not only JCM, Kenyan politics mixed up with religion is the problem. And it's very interesting because during Maandamano, the clergy and the religious leaders, they are there in the front row. Some of them, especially when they see that the heat is rising, they are there telling us that we must pray for justice. We must pray for the victims. But after the Maandamano and these presidential visits in their churches, now we have to pray for 2 terms because the country needs stability. Or what changes the narrative from justice to 2 terms? So I have a very simple question. Are we praying for the nation or are we just positioning ourselves for the next fundraising?